This evening we have another wonderful guest, Afroditi, and I'll let her tell you more about her in a minute. But before we get started, let's introduce my mom, or say hello to my mom once again. This is, again, not even get out her first name. That's Mom. Mom is the person that's responsible for bringing me here and keeping me happy, healthy, and wholesome. Figure that one out. Now, along with my little cozy table, I have Simple Truth. I'm an avid water drinker. I think it's great for, water is one of the only things, if you don't know it or not, that we can't live without. It's great for your skin, it's great for your hair, it's great for hunger pains. It is good for, again, the one thing that you should even keep in your car every so often, just in case something happens, you always need some water. Well, what I love, not only do I think this water is some of the best water I've ever tasted, and I've drank a lot of water in my long life, but I love the name of it. It's called Simple Truth. And because I find myself simple and I love to tell the truth, I don't think you could find a better partner. So go out and buy yourself some Simple Truth and enjoy it. Along with the cozy table, we've got the Cozyisms, The Art of Paying Attention. My first book, I'm very excited to say that I'm working on the second and enjoying it immensely, only because now I know a little bit more of what I didn't know the first time. That makes for progress. So please go to Amazon, pull up Cozyisms, and it'll go straight to the book. Moving forward this evening is again my wonderful, beautiful guest, Miss Afroditi. If you don't mind, please tell the audience your first and last name that I cannot say correctly, so I didn't want to botch it. Where are you from? And that name again should lend some conversation to your background. How long have you been in Vegas? And how long have you been a real estate agent?
Alrighty, well thank you so much for bringing me on the show. I deeply appreciate you, Cozy. I really do. I've missed your face. I haven't seen it in a while, so it's a blessing.
Oh, thank you.
My name is Afroditi Bartsilianos. It's very Greek. I'm first generation American. My father is from Greece, and I was primarily raised here in the Las Vegas area. I came here when I was quite little. I was born on an Air Force base over in North Carolina, though, so I was born in America. And I have been in the real estate industry. I'm a real estate economist. Been in the industry for about going on 5 years now, and previously was an accountant. So I specialize in a lot of portfolio diversification, buy, sell at the same time. Instances where people need a little bit more guidance than just buying their first home. So that's what I specialize in. But to learn a little bit more about me, I am a mama of 3 children, and what we like to do kind of for hobbies and how I like to integrate in my life is, well, first I'm actually teaching them, not doing homeschool full blown. So that within itself, I'm really big on teaching. That's part of my spirit and who I like to be. And other reason why I really like Las Vegas is because of all of the hiking that's surrounding us. So that's a little bit more about me and what I like to do. And you know, I've tried to leave Vegas many times, but Red Rock just keeps having me come on back. So
Really?
yeah.
Do the girls hike as well?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And how old are they?
I have a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old. I know. Oh my goodness. And everybody says, bless your heart. No. Yes, and they are hikers. They're campers too. They're in Cub Scouts.
Okay.
And so we like to go camping and hiking. Glory. That's
4, 6, and 7?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got Irish twins.
Really?
Yeah, 7 and 6. They're the same age every single month of February.
Wow.
So this February they will both be 7 together. So every Valentine's Day they're twins.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is that what they're called, Irish twins? I've never heard that expression.
Yeah, they're only 11 months apart. So.
And are they all girls?
It's my son and my daughter that are Irish twins.
Okay.
So yeah, my firstborn was my son. Georgios, Avalon, and Artemis are their names.
Wow.
Yes, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aphroditi. Say him again.
Aphroditi, Georgios, Yorgos, he was named after my father.
Okay.
Avalon, and then Artemis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your Christmas card should look very interesting.
They do, actually.
Right.
They do.
With those names alone. So what is it that you like about Vegas?
It's so interchangeable. It has all the opportunities available for people to enjoy life, as well as costly in comparison to other places, as well as the tax benefit is astronomical. People come here just to buy property, to hold money, or to file their taxes here because of the benefits that are available.
Okay.
So financially, all the way to entertainment, I don't think that there could be a better city in the US.
Okay, and that is something that I want you to tell the audience more about, how you can offer them your expertise, and just as importantly, why they need or could possibly need your expertise to come work with you, talk to you.
So my purpose in my business is to build generational wealth.
Okay.
So with that being said, there's a lot of items to know factually, from appreciation within the city, what's going to be your best investment for your first few years, and then to turn around and potentially create a rental portfolio so you have passive income. And in order to understand that and create that reality, understanding pricing, the market, appreciation, what kind of financial stability you may currently have, if you have to be in contact with an additional financial advisor, tax people. It takes a whole team and group of people that you have to already have relationships with in order to be able to build that, right? So that's what I like to bring to the table.
Do you once you start working with any particular client, you offer them, do you have that team already in place?
100%.
Contacts already in place?
100%. So I can bring to the table people that are going to be purchasing from the $200,000 range all the way up to a $2 million range. So I've decided to build that type of team, as well as the best part about the brokerage that I'm with. I'm actually with Keller Williams, Southern Nevada. And I chose Keller Williams because they provide a network internationally. So I currently am assisting someone sell a property in Panama. I have the opportunity to build a relationship with people in Greece, and if I needed someone to list anywhere in the world, I can assist them with that. So that was the number one reason why I joined Keller Williams, as well as it seemed so fit with the fact that I was an accountant previously, and I understand the dynamic of how to build generational wealth in your life.
So that needs to be stated and stated again. Not only do you have your background in accounting,
Yes.
you also have your license in real estate, and you can put those together and take them beyond just getting into their perfect home.
Right. So a lot of people have this interpretation that when they make their purchase, it's the biggest purchase of their life and it'll be the last. But quite frankly, the purpose of utilizing a mortgage isn't always necessarily that case, especially if you want to utilize it to your advantage when you start talking about equity of property, things of this nature. So you can really, really put yourself in a financial position that's way more comfortable, instead of having to worry about a landlord, or even if you are in that one mortgage, why not have the opportunity to be able to diversify yourself and take the equity out in multiple ways, from refinance to resale, in any which way you see fit to your financial future. So there's a lot of opportunity, but you definitely have to have a team in your corner that has not just the real estate professional, but a tax person, a mortgage person, a financial advisor, all the way down to the person that's going to come and clean the home at the very end, right? So you have to have a Rolodex of people in your corner. And I've taken a lot of pride in building the relationships that I have to make sure that I have people that can support me in all the financial endeavors that may come across my way.
Can you offer a good deal of your services? Say they didn't purchase the home from you, but they need to diversify, they need to plan their monies otherwise. Can you help them as well?
So sitting down and evaluating people's assets is 100% part of any consultation that's going to be conducted. Because it's the primary reason why we would be sitting down. Being that huge purchases, like a home purchase, are always going to include an evaluation of your assets.
Right.
So I won't always be the person to say, I think that your idea is great, because it may not be the best idea in your position financially, right? And because of my accounting background, I won't say I am a financial advisor, I can approve this position, but I do have the background in order to evaluate and suggest whom you should go talk to and give you a great direction on what could be best. Because maybe at that time, selling or buying may not be the best position. You may need to liquidate an asset or potentially refinancing and putting yourself where you don't have to pay your mortgage for 60 days and take that money, invest it in an index fund, maybe get a return in the next 1.5 to 2 years and be able to purchase that $700,000 home that you want to purchase, or the retirement home that you want to purchase. And how are we going to make that so that you can have passive income as well as supply the life that you want to live, instead of just, I want this life. It may not be the best financial decision for you, but people aren't necessarily always going to stop you.
But I want to know, if I'm sitting in the audience listening to you right now, I purchased my home, but I would love to have more financial guidance. Would that be something that you can offer, or do you only speak to me or a client from day one, which is when they come to you to buy a home?
Well,
maybe my real estate agent doesn't have all of your expertise.
Right.
So
I have clients that come to me for other advice as well, because they know that I may potentially have somebody to bring to the table. I don't exclusively work with one individual in each subcategory. I will always give a plethora of choices to people, of people that I know I've certified in the way that they do business.
Got it.
Now, if somebody has a general question about finances, I can always give a pretty good answer and then guide them in the right direction to the person that's going to be able to be the expertise.
So that would be called a consulting.
Oh, of course.
Right. So anyone and everyone who's listening who may have questions, or their realtor was not, doesn't have your background, they can still come to you and say, can you help me think of other ways to diversify or to use my monies or to invest my monies?
Definitely.
That's what we want the audience to know.
Oh, of course.
How can you help them, and how can they work with you so everyone benefits?
Well, I know that a lot of the time people go to a realtor that's been referred to them, and then sometimes it ends up good and sometimes it doesn't end up being the best, right? And so what I want people to come to me for when it comes to real estate is guidance on if their idea of what they want to do in real estate is the best idea for them and their family in that moment in time. And instead of me just passing them over to a lender, having them speak with a lender, and then I take that pre-approval letter and I say, you're approved for $300,000, I'm going to make sure we're going to go to the max. When I sit somebody down and do a consultation with them, I'm going to ask them about their monthly finances and what kind of monthly payment is going to be most comfortable for them and their family. And where are they going to be in the next 4 or 5 years? Do they plan on expanding? Do they foresee them actually turning it into a rental 2 years from then, 1 year from then? There will be a huge moment where we'll really talk about what their plan is and not necessarily what their idea is. So I know that I'm going to offer guidance, not just a purchase. And anybody that's bought a home before will know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's what I offer.
Sounds very, very sophisticated, very professional, and very efficient. Again, that is what we want to bring on Cozy Up and Pay Attention. Pay attention to how others can, or my guests, can help them. We know, of course, we're in this pandemic right now. Some are doing better than others, some aren't doing well at all. At the end of the day, we all pray that this is going to end and we get our lives back. Where do we go from there? Who do we use? Who can we trust? And you certifiably come across as someone that I would trust, and I hope my audience sees the same thing.
Oh, thank you, Cozy. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, you're very professional. Very professional, very knowledgeable. Moving on, we have what's called the can of cozyisms, or cozyisms in a can. So what I did is I took the cozyisms from the book, put them on some little cards, and I'm going to pull a card and ask you how what it means to you. I like to say how it hits your solar plexus. And if it's something that says, can't readily think of, please ask me for another one. I've got plenty of them in here. All right, so moving forward. Had two, but I won't look at the other one. All right. A cozyism. For many, it is easier to find themselves after being lost. I think this falls within what you do. Does it punch you in the stomach or not? Let me say it again. A cozyism. For many, it is easier to find themselves after being lost.
I like it. I don't think that there's any cozyism that I can dislike, and even if it made me feel uncomfortable, that's just because you have something that you have to face within yourself, right? That's what I love about what you provide. For this particular statement, I couldn't agree with it more.
And so what do you think, other than agree or not agree? Are there any particular instances in your own life or in lives of someone that you're close with, a friend, a family member, that this would apply?
I've seen some of the best phoenixes in my lifetime of family members, friends, rise from the ashes in moments that they felt absolutely lost. And I know if they didn't get lost, they would have never have succeeded in such a fashion. So that, I feel like a lot of people try to plan. So the Greeks, they have this saying that make plans and God laughs, right?
You have in America too.
Yeah, but they say it so
It probably
common.
sounds better in your language.
No, it's just that it's like their go-to for everything, and it is.
Okay.
And that's a good way to look at life, right? Is to kind of take on those endeavors when you feel like you're lost, because you will find so much more out about yourself. As a matter of fact, I think that's something that should be taught even to children, right? To kind of embracing and getting lost. Like, there was recently, I heard a story about a father that used to encourage his children to fail. And he'd be like, did you fail today? And they'd be like, well, no. And he's like, okay, well, don't come back until you failed. And he would tell them to fail so that they could create a different dialogue with the definition of failure, right? And so I feel like getting lost could be that same type of change of dialogue that we could really benefit from. What do you think?
Well, being that I wrote it and experienced it, I have had what I consider pretty fortunate life. And up until I turned 50, you could never have told me that I would either fail or my life not be grand, because I was just had it going on. Well, at 50, my life as I knew it fell apart. And immediately when I watched it happen, and as it was happening, and with the comedic side of me, I kept saying, "You're not funny." Up to God, "You're not funny. I'm the comedian in this relationship." He said, "Well, you may not find it funny, but this is fact." What it did was, I knew or thought I had my act together, whatever that means. I was handling life and being successful and enjoying my everydays pretty much. And then I wasn't. And I just had to dig deeper, had to question who I was. It was easy, as things are. When it's good, and when it's not, it's awful. Well, it was awful. It was absolutely the worst period of my life. And like most successful people, and I've spoken to quite a few, you have very dark thoughts that come in. Oh, well, I would never think she'd think that. Well, get over it. Neither did I. Well, I did. And then you have to decide, do you throw it all in? You've accomplished all of that. You obviously had something going for yourself. So you're really just gonna chuck it up now and give it no effort? You don't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. Not with the pride and the respect that I have for myself. And I really believe, other than building a rocket ship or sending someone to the moon, within reason, I can do anything I set my mind to. The question was, did I want to? That's how far my life had gone to puts. And I just, it was first seeing it, owning up to it, and then how did you get there? Well, I had that question I had answered. How did I get where I was at that time? And I had friends ask me, and this was the answer. It's true. I obviously made some bad decisions. That's owning up to, again, being an adult, and you just did not think it out or didn't execute it well. So here I was at middle age, as they call it. First time in my life that I was not on top of anything. And what do? Well, you know, we hear these expressions all the time. They don't get old because they're true. You can't go anywhere but up. And when you are that down, you're far down, and there is nowhere else to go. So what do? You put on your big girl panties, and they got bigger as the time went on. That was not fun. I'd rather have my thong on with a bad life, but no, the butt grew, the money went away, the lifestyle changed. And I decided, go for it, see what happens. I was discussing with someone not too long ago that I can't even remember all of the jobs and positions that I've had since I've moved to Vegas. And then, of course, I moved to Denver for 7 years. I had 5 part-time jobs at one time. 5. Riding around my little bug, going from job to job to job to job. And it didn't bother me because I knew I was putting one foot in front of the other. So I have been lost, and pray every day I never find myself in that situation again. However, I believe, well, I don't want to know, don't test me. I believe I would be able to have a better grasp because I've already been there. You know, it's the walking in someone's shoe. Similar when we're in the street and we see someone standing in the medium with the sign, "Feed me." And those people didn't wake up one day and decide, I want to be homeless and I want to stand in the middle of the street and beg for money. They made some bad decisions, right? How they get out of it, they have to figure it out. But for this one, it is easy to find. Yes, you took it for granted. Let me speak for me. When life is good, we all take it for granted. We all say it's never going to happen to us. Just to touch on this pandemic for a moment and the mask, people just don't think they're going to get it. And we're watching these deaths that are growing every day. And it amazes me how we still can go turn on TV or whatever it is before this evening is over and watch the increase of deaths. It's not going to happen to me. Let me tell you something, folks. Everything that can happen to one person can happen to all of us. As human beings, as children of God, there is no one that's an exception. There was a gentleman when I was living in Denver. I don't remember exactly what his situation was. A doctor, very successful. What I remember more than anything was this gorgeous, huge, looked like mansion, and it was yellow. And the fact that it was so big, it was yellow, just screamed at me. And he ended his life, his wife's life, and all of his kids because he lost his job. A doctor. He never imagined not being able to keep that house, keep the cars, keep the private schools, keep the diamonds or what have you, keep the lifestyle. So being lost is, first of all, we have to find ourselves and say, well, who are you? Who are you without the things? We need things. right? None of us want to sleep in a cart. But who are you without all of the stuff?
Right. Well, that right there, I feel like is something that has to be conditioned earlier and earlier in life with the realization that it exists in the first place. With the understanding of you, your calm, your inside. But when you get lost, no matter how much you may understand you, being aware of potentially ending up on the wrong road, right? And instead of playing victim or concentrating on the scarcity part, the lack, to come from a different interpretation and get real curious. Get curious about what you're experiencing, right? Because that right there is where the gold is. Is within that lost. Why? What? How? Not, oh my goodness, I don't have this, I don't have that.
Well, I think to parlay to what you just said, within that lost is finding.
Yeah.
It's easier to find yourself. Well, I think we've done a good job. Of course I'm supposed to say we've done a good job. You've been an absolutely fabulous guest. And if you would please tell the audience, once again, your wonderful first and last name. We won't make them spell it, but we will put all this information on our website so that you can get in touch with Afroditi and find her and let her help you with your finances, whatever they may be. And just as importantly, as she just indicated, if she's not able to help you, she knows who can. So please give the audience your information again.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Cozy. I can't even say how much I appreciated that particular cozyism this evening.
Me too.
And I appreciate all of them, I truly do.
Thank you, sweetie.
I
So
do.
let my audience know who you are. And again, it'll be on the website, but.
Afroditi Bartsilianos, real estate economist over at Keller Williams, Southern Nevada. I have a YouTube channel as well. It's called Relax with Afroditi, and I recently interviewed Cozy as well. I think you should definitely check it out. We spoke about motivation for the beginning of this year, and I thought that was quite beautiful. My website is cityfolds.com, and you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Relax with Afroditi, Afroditi Bartsilianos on Facebook, and I'd be more than happy if you need any guidance or assistance. Just reach out.
Thank you. And at the conclusion of our show, I want you to please leave with these words of wisdom, and hopefully they'll touch you in some way as they've touched me. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. And good night, and I'll see you next week.